guys, in this video I was gonna go through how a Reddit experiment pretty much doubled my blog traffic permanently. I went from getting 20 to 30 visitors a day to over 150, and even now, I mean, I'm well over 300 visitors a day, but that was the pivotal moment for my blog. So blogging is really my part-time thing, right? I just use it to kind of update myself and people that follow me about what I'm doing. My main form of income is affiliate marketing. I sell products like t-shirts, services, all sorts of stuff online. I run paid traffic to it, and if I get a sale, then I get commission. So that's the main thing that I do. And I once had a killer month where I made, believe it or not, over 100k revenue in a single month. And I was selling literally tens of thousands of shirts all over the world. I was selling to like Australia, America, France, Brazil, Russia, Germany, Argentina. There were so many countries, and it was just a killer design that just hit it off. And if you're familiar with teespring.com, then you'd know that there's some pretty big success stories came out of that. So I wrote a post on Reddit called "I made around $85,000 profit last month in March promoting shirts, hoodies on Teespring." AMA. AMA means Ask Me Anything, and it's a popular thread topic in Reddit. So it's kind of a way for people to share an experience and write AMA at the end so people can ask them questions about that experience. So that's what I did, and I posted that in the entrepreneur section. And before I knew it, I had like hundreds of people visiting my website. I had no idea what to do because there was comments coming from everywhere. So I spent pretty much the whole day just sitting there and answering questions. There was a lot of really good questions about the business, but then obviously there were people that were speculating and hating on the thread, and eventually it went from being number one position, and it dropped positions over time because people just didn't believe me. So what I should have done is I should have really contacted the moderator and said, hey look, here's my proof, here's my PayPal transactions, just vouch for me in my thread description, and that way I would have avoided a lot of that. But in terms of my blog traffic, it was huge. So you can see in the analytics, I went from getting about 36, say 20 to 50 to 70 people per day, which wasn't too bad. And then I had a massive spike on the day I posted that Reddit thread. And then after it stabilized, I was on pretty much over 120 every single day after that, which is pretty good. So if I were to give you guys advice on how to kind of replicate the process, I would say have something that has a huge wow factor to it, right? People aren't just going to read generic things. People are there because people will spend time reading your thing if it's interesting for them. If you're just writing about, hey, how I found $2 under my couch today, no one's going to read that. But if you have a really cool experience, it doesn't even have to be about money. If you're familiar with AMA threads, it's kind of just about silly, stupid stuff, but it's exciting. And so people read that. So if you have something to share, kind of add value to it. Obviously you want to make money with your blog, but don't just write something generic. Have a really catchy title, have preferably specific numbers. People respond really good to numbers, so things like 5 methods on how I grew my Instagram following to 1,000 people in 2 days. Something like that, right? And then have an Ask Me Anything type of thread to it, and post it in a relevant section. Make sure your header is on point. That's one of the probably biggest thing. It's a marketing thing. Your header and your image, wherever you're marketing, has to be clickable. It has to be enticing. So whether Reddit is really just about a good header, a good description, people are gonna read that first sentence, and then they're gonna make a judgment on whether they want to click ahead or not. So read your header and make sure that it is enticing. You don't want to have something really generic that people aren't gonna click. And lastly, blogging is really about experimenting. There's no one trick that's gonna work for you. This worked for me, but it's one of, say, 50 different things I tried, from Tumblr to Twitter to Facebook, a lot of little experiments. And even if 1 or 2 of them kick off, that's enough to totally pivot your blog. And you don't need that many blog visitors to monetize. I probably get about 300 to 500 a day these days, and that's enough for me to get a good monthly salary. And it gives me some money to test some marketing campaigns, pays for my bills, allows me to keep doing this full time. Anyway, that's it for this video. Hope you enjoyed it. It's kind of my first video in this series, so peace.